Right, so doing something a little bit different. So my internet has apparently been upgraded, so definitely a good test on that one. Two, I really wanted to do a video tonight taking a look back at the North American World Championship qualifier. Whew, get there in a minute. And have a look back at the main highlights of the event, because there was a lot that went on, and basically being part of the online community. There's a lot of different comments that have popped up. There's a lot of different views I wanted to have a look at. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look back over the... we're going to take a look back over some of the highlights. I've marked down some of the highlight, not so much time codes, but you'll see on the screen that I've got the full replay of World Championship qualifier for Sunday. Saturday or Friday and Saturday was pretty much day one. And the highlights that I wanted to talk about all happened pretty much on day two. Now, I'm not going to take you through the entire thing. We're not going to sit here and watch 11 hours of stream. I'm just going to skip forward to the moments that really stood out, and then obviously as this is currently going out live, I'll put the pre-record out after this as well, so we can kind of all talk about what happened and what went on. So with all of that out of the way, if you are new to this, if you are not subscribed, please do so. Smash that like button, hit the notification bell, so you do not miss out on any more upcoming content. I'm hoping now that the internet is upgraded and good to rock and roll, I'll be able to do this basically a little bit more often, which would be really, really good. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is we're going to look at the top 64, because I think that's pretty much where it starts to happen. So there's a lot of highlights from the North American WCQ in comparison to like the Euros and everything else as well. So much happens, which is really kind of cool. There we go. So I do have ads on YouTube, so unfortunately I don't. I think the best I can do is skibbity skip, skibbity ad. Right, so we'll start having a look at, so that you can see straight away the top 64 of players as well, and you know there's some massive standouts in those top 64 straight away. So I'm pretty sure Ryan Yu made top 64. There's also Christian Tanner as well. Loads of people that you would kind of expect to make the top 64. Cameron Neal also made it as well. I believe Pac's here somewhere. And obviously Pac was fighting out for World's entry as well. So there was a lot of really good kind of like high-ranking players. But then there was also some not so big names. And some of them, or most of them, really kind of took our attention. One of them is the first kind of point that I wanted to, or the first kind of highlight to me, because I sat down, I got in just as the duel had finished, and I rewound it to watch it because I'd heard this story of a hero player. So, just going to skip forward a little bit here. Nathaniel. So, Nathaniel went all the way to top, spoiler, 32 with Elemental Heroes. And what I loved most about watching this duel was even Bruce as well, and full credit to Bruce as well. They both seemed like they were enjoying it, and Nathaniel just showed why he got as far as he did. He just fully enjoyed what he was doing. He knew the deck inside and out. He was able to break his opponent's board so consistently, and it was one of them duels where it wasn't one player steamrolled them, one player got incredibly lucky. Both players did very, very well, built up very powerful boards, and they both looked like they were genuinely enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is great to see, because, you know, you do get a lot of times where they're like, people are just grumpy or a little bit salty, stuff doesn't go their way, and I really do kind of appreciate the clear communication between both the players and the attitude that Bruce has. And you see this a little bit later on in the duel. Like I said, I'm not going to watch these all the way through. I will put the link to this so you can go back and watch it. But like Nathaniel did open up the absolute nuts, and credit to Bruce, like you can see it in his face that he's just like, he did all he could do. And it wasn't as if he misplayed. He wasn't angry at himself or anything. It was just like, okay, cool. Bro's opened up the nuts. He knows his deck inside and out. I haven't been able to stop him. And he just goes off. So he does incredibly well. And Yeah, broke Bruce. Look, you see, look at Bruce's face. He's like, bro, I can't believe you opened up Fusion Destiny as well. And the smile on Nathaniel's face. I'm not too sure how. I haven't looked at his deck profile or anything like that, so I don't know how many events Nathaniel's been to. I don't know how many events Bruce has been to, but like they're both generally happy duelists with how that went out, and so full credit to both players there. Unfortunately, I believe Nathaniel did lose in his top 32 matchup, but yeah, it was just a very good spectacle to watch as a Hero fan, but also just like generally watching the event go on. So yeah, let's move on to the next highlight. Now I feel the next highlight is quite harsh on some individuals. So let's move to the top 32. So the top 32 duel was Ryan playing Branded and Kamal playing Pearly. Now, this is the prime example of nerves getting to you. Now, I refuse to believe, like, there's two kind of possibilities on this one. Number one, this is one of Ryan's first events, and I don't know if that's true or not, and he's made it all the way to top 32. To get to top 32, you must know your deck. You must know certain matchups. I refuse to believe that he was like cheating in all of them or misplaying in all of them. We do see that he does make a misplay where he sends Lulu Walif, which was called out by someone in the crowd, which hopefully, with hindsight, you might have seen the judge call that, catch it as well. But I think this is a prime example, and a lot of people have been giving Ryan a very hard time on this one. I've just seen that my face cam is on the wrong side, so bear with me 2 seconds. I'll try and move that out of the way so I'm not covering up the other duelists. But basically, what I'm trying to say here is that Ryan was given a lot of hard time on the community. Like I was looking over the community, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, worst Branded player ever," and this and that. And it's like, bro, hang on a minute. This dude's made it all the way to a top 32 of a North American WCQ. Now, obviously, I know our Euros are pretty decent. Like, we get a couple of thousand people, but I can't imagine the size of turnout you get here. Not to mention, if it was one of his first tournaments and he's made it all this way here, or his first time getting into a top cut, and keeping in mind probably the first time on feature, he's going to be incredibly nervous. Not to mention, he makes a couple of misplays. So the first one is sending this Lulu Walif that gets called out, and straight away he gets given like a minor. He does another one as well, which is different to the one he's done here. It wasn't a legal activation, it was something else. And again, he's given another minor, and he's like, bro, if you do this again, you're going to get a game loss. And no one wants a game loss in this event. Especially not top 32, like, geez. I feel the outcome of this duel was correct. I think the way that it got to the outcome of the duel wasn't. So just skipping forward a little bit. Obviously, Kamal wins game one. I think Kamal had full control over the entire state. There's a couple of times where Kamal thinks like 2 or 3 steps ahead, and he set up his board to be protected. Some of it might be just general luck of the draw, but he does incredibly well, right? And moves into game 2, and unfortunately, as you can see, there's 8 minutes left on the clock, all right? Unfortunately, it does get to a point where Kamal activates an effect that reduces his life points, and ultimately it goes into game 3. And you can see the disappointment in Kamal's face. Like, you see he's not entirely happy. He knows that, I mean, at the end of the day, Ryan gets to go first. If Ryan Nightmare locks him, it could pretty much be game over. But I'm just trying to scroll back a little bit where you can kind of see, and you kind of feel bad for Kamal on this one, because you can just see in his facial reactions and everything else that he can't believe it. Like, it hit time, he didn't realise it. I was watching along as well, and the clock online had 45 seconds left, and I was like, okay, cool, Kamal's got this. And unfortunately he didn't. Now, this is not taking anything away from Ryan. So this is the thing. So someone's just put a comment on the chat. It says, this guy tried to cheat so hard the whole time, so cringe. Now, I obviously I can't comment to say that he did or he didn't. I would like to feel that the plays that he was making, they weren't like obvious cheats. It wasn't like he was going to gain any huge advantage out of the back of them that he couldn't get in another way. Like, if he was playing Titaniclad, he could have sent Titaniclad instead of Lulu Walif and got the same outcome. I don't know what he was trying to get from that. I feel nerves massively struck him, and you could tell so badly, because like he was making very common mistakes, and it was like, whoa, okay, for a Brownie player to be in top 32, you shouldn't be making these mistakes. He was also, he seemed that he didn't know the Pearly matchup at all. Now again, I'm only speaking from my point of view, and my point of view is to take it on a balanced thread. Like, from what I saw, he wasn't, like, in my opinion, it wasn't deliberate cheats. Obviously, I saw him send Lulu Walif, and I can see where the misconception came from. I would like to think that someone, like, at the end of the day, and I'm not approving cheating at all, but surely, if you're trying to cheat, you definitely don't do it when you're on stream and you've got 2,000 people plus watching live at home. Plus, being at top 32, you're going to have a huge crowd sat around watching the screens and the 3 judges. Now, to me, I would be nervous as hell, especially if Ryan, like I said, if Ryan was new to the game, if Ryan had been working hard and this was like his first kind of, not top, but his first point of getting to the high level, I would be nervous as hell. You have 3 people watching over you. You've got a very competent and confident player in Kamal against you, who's also in top 32. And you're sitting there like trying to get to what he wants to do. Now, you can see that in game 1, he tried to get to the Nightmare Lock. He obviously messed up some point and he wasn't able to do that. And then he was trying to do that again in game 3. And game 3, Kamal opened up really, really well, to be fair. And this is what I mean. I feel that at the end of the day, I think a lot of people, this is what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, unless Ryan comes out and unless it's kind of like shown that Ryan did try and cheat, I would like to give the benefit of the doubt to the players. The outcome was correct. Kamal won. I felt Kamal was the better player of the 2. But I would give the benefit of the doubt to Ryan and say nerves absolutely killed him. Absolutely killed him, because, and I don't feel that he should receive any kind of negativity or abuse online. Literally, at the end of the day, it would be nice to see his debt profile. I haven't seen it, and if he has done one, and literally just be like, nerves shredded me, because I would believe that and I would accept that, because the way he was acting, the way that he was talking, it was so, in my opinion, again, so far removed, so different from a cheater, or it had the perfect signs to me that it was nerves absolutely shredding him up. So for now, again, congratulations to Kamal, got into the top 16. Unfortunate to Ryan, again, congratulations that he got all the way to top 32, like a massive achievement. And basically all I wanted to do, and I'll probably get a bit of hate on this for online, but, you know, take it easy on Ryan, because I honestly feel that he got nerves absolutely destroyed him. And I haven't been in a position like this, so I can't speak from experience, but I would like to feel that if it's your first time on feature and first time top 32, you are going to be shaking. Anyway, let's move on to the next highlight. Now, the next highlight is obviously massive, and in America, that you guys always get this. So we had a live voice recording duel between Jack Atlas voice actor and Gong Strong voice actor. So these are great, because I remember watching the Yugi and Kaib one a couple of years ago. I think that was at Worlds. And these are really, really fun, because obviously it's scripted the way it's played out, but you're watching a physical game of Yu-Gi-Oh! With the voices of these actors. Now, obviously, I know at the end of the day, a lot of people will be like, oh, it's this sub, not dub. So, but like, these are really fun. I really enjoy them. And, you know, I think the best thing about this, I'll see if I can get the sound on the end of it, is what's kind of been memed out of it in a good way. Like, this is a positive meme, not in a bad way, is how Gong Billy Bob Thompson gets, like how he acts when he loses the duel. But like, this is just pure characters. I love it. And I think it's really kind of cool as well to have Billy Brady. There they go. That reaction of "Rah!" And it's really cool. It's really cool to kind of see this. So I think as a spectacle, whether you get to watch this, I know they also did free signings as well. There's an exclusive mat. Here comes another well, either my internet slowing down or it's a YouTube kind of trailer. But great time to pause it. But yeah, these are amazing. Heck of a lot of fun. Definitely to watch them live in person, I can imagine would be really, really good. And then watching it back as well. So now moving on. Moving on to the most important kind of moments. Now there's two moments that happened with our finalists. So obviously, first of all, you got to see Lars in his penultimate matchup facing Dragon Link. So this is top 8. So you see this one, and then we also get to see top 4 as well. So top 4, we get to see our other finalist as my internet tries to buffer and load and everything else. So please apologies on this one, but I am, like I said, new internet, and I am pushing it to its max. I will try and edit these in post and do everything I can, but that's why I kind of wanted to do it live to kind of get your guys' reactions and everything else with it as well. So I think it would be a cool kind of thing to try and do. So yeah, here's the first part. So we'll get into our top 4. So we get to see Jeremy. Jeremy will also be our other finalist. Spoiler. And what we get to witness here is the power of certain cards. And when I say certain cards, we're talking about the 2 cards I wanted to highlight in this one, which we get every single time. Every single time we get a card that's like one card that blows an opponent out of the water, or one card that does crazy things. Like we had it in Eradicator on the previous one, and we pretty much get it on this one as well. So Jeremy pretty much wins the final final match of this one, like game 3 with Eradicator. Also, while they're doing the trades there, shout out to the one person that foolishly got caught selling cards on camera. Big brain plays. Yeah, so Jeremy's obviously doing his standard cash plays. He played it incredibly well. He knew what the meta was. Like me personally, I was playing cash at the weekend as well. I put Eradicator in my deck. Like, it's so strong, especially in the cash matchup. That's why even I was trying to side against Eradicator, and I was playing more quick play spells. I was trying to, change stuff up, but he knew his exact plan. He was like, right, cool, get to Rise Heart, do whatever I need to. He obviously didn't fear Nibiru, which was pretty ballsy, but pretty good at the same time. And yeah, I mean, he played it incredibly well. So this is the semi-final, and he's building his board as he goes, does everything he needs to. He's got Red Eyes Flare, which I think is great as well, because it's also another Eradicator target. And we're pretty much going to see exactly what Jess did with Harpy's Feather Duster in her semi-final. But we're now going to see Eradicator get rid of Red Eyes, gets to keep the Rise Heart. So everything's going to get banished. And like legit, his hand was cooked. Absolutely cooked. So that's the first card that a lot of people are going to be talking about. I can kind of agree on Eradicator, to be fair. Yes, it requires a setup, but my lord, is it cracked. Yeah, so then let's move into the final now. I think, again, I kind of feel bad for Lars, because Lars played incredibly well, and Lars came back. He broke a couple of board. Like, this was impressive as well. Lars was playing through an Eradicator. So Lars already got hit with an Eradicator. He was building the board, and then Jeremy gets a dark hole, and you're like, bro, could you open up any more? It was like the writing was in, like, it was just there. It was basically saying, look, Jeremy, you've kind of got this one. Like, to see his Eradicator without even trying to set it off a thrust, to see his dark hole, to clear a board, and then he just opened up everything he needed to. Theosis, Unicorn, obviously Lars is only on 7,000. Unicorn, and nothing left either. Unicorn attacks, banishes Shangri-La, and yeah, you're cooked. You just go Rise Heart, go Scareclaw, everything else. So I'll let this play out. I know I've obviously kind of spoiled most of the duels for you, but I do recommend going back and watching some of them. Some of them are really, really good, especially the hero one, and even the branded one, because I would like to get more people's thoughts on it. Obviously, there are 2 sides to every story. I'm just saying from my opinion, bro, nervous, absolutely nervous. And then, and I think he's also under Eradicator still as well. And unfortunately for him, he loses his Rise Heart, top decks. basically trying to do commentary on a duel that you already know the outcome of. Here's Red Ice Flare. So you want to keep going, draw, and he's like, draw, you got to reveal it. He's like, yeah, Eradicator, boom. Game over. See the emotion on Jeremy. Well done on him. He's going to go... I think both these players go and represent America at Worlds. So I can't wait to see Worlds and the general outcome and play and everything else on this one as well. And there you go. Look, I know obviously the quality of my playbacks massively dropped. But pure emotion. You can see all of the people watching along. So you can imagine it'll be a very nervous situation to be in. But yeah, that's my outsider's view on the North American WCQ as a highlights reel, just kind of highlighting the main points. And I thought it was kind of cool to do something like this, whether it be a short, sweet, simple video, kind of giving my thoughts and feedback on everything like it, and kind of going from there. So thank you for those of you that have joined in live to watch this. I do appreciate it. So obviously we have some guy who talked about the branded player. We also had Shane Freeman. So he says, I don't think he was trying to cheat, but same time, yeah, nerves are a thing, but Kamal got punished for the other guy's nerves, which I completely agree about. And then NSRR, completely agree. Some of the comments made about him are plain nasty. And that's just something that, like, that's the flip side. Like when you look at the top 64, two duelists having incredible fun, both respecting each other, both understand that. And I don't think Kamal disrespected his opponent at all. And I would like to think, again, that Ryan didn't disrespect Kamal. I think it's just one of them ones where nerves, not knowing his matchup, and then constantly asking. I mean, I don't know what you do in that situation. If you're Ryan, what do you do? Like, I mean, for Ryan, me personally, for Ryan, and he gets to go, he hears that time's been called, and it's like, bro, you've got, you're going to be given a game, you're going to go into game 3. To me, Ryan, like straight away, Ryan has to have in the back of his head, wow, I didn't deserve to win. I lost game 1 and didn't deserve to win it. I just got away with winning game 2. We're now going into an in-time game 3. I have a chance to get to top 16. Or do you go, bro, look, I'm sorry. I took so long thinking, my nerves are killing me. I'll scoop it up here. Like, that's a very tough thing to do. And unless you're in that position as a duelist at any point, you're always going to take it to game 3. The only thing that I hope that Ryan takes from the back of this is he looks back and he goes, wow, I don't want to be on feature match ever again. And that's very simple to do. Like, he can very easily say, look, I don't want to be on feature match ever again. Clearly nerves are not my thing, and go from there. So definitely give him the benefit of that. Anyway, so that's the North American WCQ. What do we take away from this? Well, Cash is still the strongest deck around. Not as many Sprite Runics as I like to think. I did like the variety that was in the top 64. I believe there's like some Vanquished Souls. I'm not sure there was any Reekers, but then there was also Heroes. Amazing. Labyrinths, Branded, you name it. There was a very nice range, which was quite the same for Europe. So I can't wait to see Worlds. I can't wait to see what people are going to be playing, what the number 1 deck's going to be, and obviously it's America versus Europe versus Asia as well. So I believe Asia has won most of the past ones. I think the last time did Bogdan win it back in, I think maybe he got to the final. I can't remember off the top of my head, because obviously it was a good few years ago now because of COVID. The last winners was Salamangrates. But I'm pretty sure it's been Asia that have won for the past few years. So it's definitely going to be interesting. Obviously, as technically not even part of Europe anymore. But it's going to be very, very cool to kind of see. I suppose I'll be supporting the European side just because Jess is up there as well. So Jess is like the spearhead for Rika Sun Avalon. I don't know how Rika are actually on the list for Worlds. I'm not sure if they're at full power. If they are, I can't wait to see what Jess will do with that list. But other than that, it'll be kind of cool to see. But for now, thank you so much for all of you that joined me live. Thank you so much for all of you watching the record after this. I hope this is something cool and interesting, and something a little bit different that you might be interested in going forward, and we can work it from there. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.